Robin, I know that it took you were actually writing a separate film about Jane Austen, and then this came into your life. I'm just wondering what was the process of it kind of happening, and why did it take so long for you to get a movie made about Jane Austen?
Well, I had been thinking about making a film about Jane Austen scholars. I was very interested in people who become obsessed with Jane Austen. And I'd been thinking about it for about 10 years. And I finally said, you know, I'm just going to have to sit down and write that. And so I set this picture up at Sony, big Sony, corporate Sony, Columbia Pictures. It was called the Jane Prize. And I was working on that. And John Kelly read a draft of that and brought me the Jane Austen book club. And I thought, well, you know, the last thing I need is another project at Sony that's kind of competing with me, so maybe I should seriously think about this. And I loved John Calley when I met him as a producer. And I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to do both, and I'll see which one happens first, you know, or which one happens at all, because you never know when you write these movies. And the Jane Austen book club got ahead of the other one.
Then, Maria, what is it about the script that Robin wrote then that kind of rang true to you and just made you decide that you wanted to be a part of
well,
this project?
I had read the book before John and Robin approached me, and I really liked it. But when they gave me the script, I loved it. I thought there was so much more passion to these characters that Robin wrote, and real arcs to them and their friendship.
What is it, because you know, we keep on reading about how it's very difficult to have movies made with women as the central characters and stuff, and people don't want to fund it and things like that. What is it about these films that make it so difficult? Because, you know, I know there's all my female friends want to see it, and even some guy friends want to go. You know, what is it about these films that make it so difficult to get off the ground?
I think that for the last couple of decades, actually, film has been sort of oriented toward male stars, male audiences. Even though there are a lot of women who are working, especially at the executive level in film, they are not thinking about the female audience as a driving force. They have sort of marginalized the female audience, and they call these movies chick flicks. And I think that they actually ration how many of those they'd like to make. As they think about the big international audience, they think that's a kind of specialty, as if women are a deviation from the norm. So I think that's part of what makes it so hard. And what I find is that you have to go and make the marketing argument to the people at the studios. You have to say, women are half the audience for action movies. Women are half the audience for Born Identity. And women also go to movies multiple times because we love to see films with our girlfriends, with our mother, with our daughter, with our grandmother. And so if women love a movie, they tend to really support it. So there is a very strong, you know, reason to make it. It's just somehow we have to keep saying it over and over again.
What is the nice thing about this film is this idea of a group of women coming together and helping each other out emotionally and through literature and stuff. And so was that something that kind of reflected Offset also? Did you have an instant kind of camaraderie with the ladies on set?
Oh, definitely. Robin just cast this beautifully. And we bonded on such a huge level as soon as we met and did these improvs that Robin led, and by the end of the day we were all fast friends. And as the movie grew, we tried to shoot it in a bit of a sequence, and as the movie grew, we grew more as a group, and our friendship grew, and it really mirrored what was going on in the movie.
Was Hugh Dancy like part of this experience, or was he kind of the whipping boy?
You know, it was actually very cool the way Hugh entered the cast, because he was coming off of the movie Evening, and essentially for me to be able to have him be part of this, he had to come off the set of Evening, fly to Los Angeles, get a haircut, and walk on to set here. So that newcomer quality that he has in the film was also mirrored in the way that he came into the cast, because everybody else had rehearsal and improvs and so forth, and he didn't get to rehearse until he had already been working for 2 days. But he describes himself as being sort of the mascot.
Yeah, I was going to say he was the mascot. At one point we would rub his head when we came to set for good luck.
He was like the good luck charm. But I think that people really, they also really respected him as an actor. He wasn't just like a boy toy, you know. I mean, he's a very serious actor. People really recognize that.
Last question then, Marie. I know that you're going to Asia to shoot a film. I was wondering, can you talk about what you're expecting and what your experience
Yeah, definitely. I'm off to do The Mummy 3 with Brendan Fraser and Michelle Yeoh and Jet Li. And we're shooting in China, in Beijing, in Tiananmen, and Shanghai, October and November, and I just can't wait. I've been to China before, and 8 years ago, and I heard it's Beijing and Shanghai are so built up, you know, completely different from 8 years ago, and I can't wait to see the change.
It'll be a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you.
Thank you.